because of your background, you guys' background in church, I think things were a lot. I mean, it was organized to an extent, but I think now everything is just so much more. We saw the vision come to life. The vision is so much more. I'm sorry, I can't think of the word.
I think what you're trying to say is that when we started, we literally were laying foundation. So like every little thing was like intentional. Like there was nothing we had no room or space for like, oh, this will be a good idea, or let's have fun and do this. Like it wasn't about fun. It wasn't about good ideas, anything like that. It was literally like, we need to set a precedent not only with the school, but also with the students that we're impacting. So if we're gonna have Bible study on Wednesday, it needs to be every Wednesday. And we're gonna meet at 7 o'clock, it needs to be exactly at 7 o'clock. If we're gonna have 4 people doing this, it needs to be the same 4 people doing this. When we first started, me and Jairus were partnering on creating the sermons for our Bible study, and we got to a point like, listen, you do music, I'll do the preaching, and that's it. Like when we set certain like unspoken ground rules. And we created a culture, so much so that every time there was a changeover in leadership within the ministry, it reflected us 3. So when we got a whole new face of people in, what was it, 2013, 2014, you had somebody that resembled me. You had somebody that resembled Jasmine. You had somebody that resembled Jairus. And this keeps happening over and over again. And then even the way that we work together, the 3 of us, it mimics itself with each new leadership team. So Jairus was like the vice president and the worship leader. Our current vice president right now is the worship leader. Like that's a word. And it's always been like 2 guys and a girl. And that's something that keeps repeating. 2 guys and a girl.
I remember the first time you mentioned Anna. You were like, she reminds me of you.
Anna reminded me of Jasmine.
That's good.
Because Anna was very like, she was like soft-spoken and nice, but you didn't want to get on her bad side. Like when I first met Anna, she was very rough around the edges. And you know, that side of Anna comes out too. But Jasmine is very rough around the edges, okay? So,
are you saying I'm still rough around the edges?
She's still rough around the edges.
Wow. Thank you.
Like if we go somewhere and somebody says something disrespectful, I gotta like get Jasmine ready, like, all right, we're not gonna respond.
Look at me like, please. In his head's like, please don't, please. I'm like, okay.
But how is HELP different from then? It's really, I would say it's really just so that now what we saw, we see now.
Right.
We were working towards something, and 10, 11 years later, we're seeing everything that we envisioned. Like even, I'm not gonna get into this stuff, but the gym here, I had visions of this gym in Founders Hall. I had visions of the way how they changed the chapel around, it carpeted and stuff like that. Like all these like little visions that we had and experiences that we had in our Bible study, like we're watching this stuff come to pass like now, and it's very, it creeps me out. I'll say that.
As me and Freedom and I were talking about earlier, the school was not that developed. It was pretty like, you know.
They said it used,
I don't want to be shady.
It used to be,
you know.
a part of the school used to be like a hospital and a dormitory for the nuns, and we could tell. Because there were certain parts of the school that wasn't developed. So we would walk into like the laundry area and they had full metal tables. I'm like, so did they work with dead bodies here?
Right. It's creepy. Like you going into
full metal
areas
tables and you see like the lining for the curtains that they would pull and stuff like they left. I'm like, y'all left this stuff up and left this stuff here. It was a little weird, but
it's kind of creepy.
I think it's kind of dope though, because we came in and we brought in a culture to the campus that they didn't have, say the nice terms, that they didn't have. And then we watched the campus kind of, in that sense, kind of transition into accepting us, because they didn't want us to have a Christian
group. We went through a lot.
Yeah, we had to deal with it. I forget about it sometimes.
We didn't even have money to do certain things. So we could hold fish fries in the kitchen, and they wouldn't give us money.
They would tell us we couldn't fundraise.
Raise our pennies.
We had to do what we had to do, but
save every dollar.
and to watch the school transition into accepting us, and then we're watching the school like physically transition, like how they're growing and building and doing. Now they got all these different campuses. Now they got a campus down the block from where I was living when I first came to Mercy. The College of New Rochelle's Mercy College now.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh wow. Yeah, they started
I was right
expanding.
down the block from the College of New Rochelle. That's where Nubia went to school.
Oh, yeah.
But what about you, Jairus?
Yeah, I agree. Definitely, main difference from what it was when we were there and what it is now is that now there is a past. So now the ministry is building upon what was, as opposed to when we started, we were building upon scratch. So, but it wasn't completely scratch because we had influence of people and of ministry, and be pulled from that as much as we could to build this ministry. And now the team can still use outside sources, but there's a past and a record and a foundation that's already built to be built on top of. But that's the beautiful thing about God, is that, you know, it's a kingdom and it's evolving, so it keeps growing. It's gonna keep getting bigger and better.